जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा। विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा। तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे। गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
Honorable Speaker and honorable members, I extend my warm greetings to everyone on the occasion of the commencement of the fourth session of the 14th Nagaland Legislative Assembly. It is a great pleasure for me to address this august house for the second time. I am confident that this session, as always, will witness learned deliberations on important matters of public interest and welfare. It will also take up legislative works, thereby fulfilling the mandate and duty of this House as envisioned in the Constitution, which also strengthening the faith of the people in democracy and its institutions. My government, after being voted back with a resounding mandate, would be completing its first year in office very shortly. I am grateful to the people for the cooperation extended to my government. This has motivated us to work harder to translate into reality our visions and plans for all-round and holistic development of our people. At the same time, we continue to remain mindful of our unresolved Naga political issue, which has been one of the major constraints in the pursuit of our development and welfare goals. For the last many years, it has been the cherished dreams of everyone in Nagaland to witness the final solution to the Naga political issue and to live and work in a peaceful environment. On behalf and for the sake of the people of Nagaland, I once again call upon all the stakeholders to overcome their differences and any of the remaining obstacles and to thrash out the final solution in a spirit of give and take. My government have been giving, I will continue to give the highest importance to the peaceful resolution of the Naga political issue. And we will take every possible step in furthering and strengthening the ongoing peace process and in playing the role of active and constructive facilitator. I thank all the honorable members of the House for their unflinching commitment to the peaceful and yearly resolution of the Naga political issue, and for coming together to form an opposition-less government to facilitate its early resolution, the largest interest of our people. I would like to reiterate that my government is ready to pave the way for the final solution that is honorable, acceptable, and inclusive. My government is giving highest priority to nurturing and developing our human resources, in which we have great potentials in terms of age profile, talent, and motivation. We are trying to ensure that our education system at all levels keeps pace with the time and the newest developments in the educational sector. We have made quality assurance an integral part of our higher education system, institutions, and I am happy to note that the National Assessment and Accreditation Council has successfully accredited 36 colleges out of 71 colleges in the state through the initiative of Department of Higher and Technical Education. Out of the 17 government colleges also, we have been able to get 13 colleges assessed by NAAC. Our aim is to get all the remaining colleges also assessed at the soonest possible time. In a move which will have a far-reaching and a decisive impact on the higher education landscape in our state, we are actively pursuing with the central government for setting up an Indian Institute of Science, Education and Research in Naga. An institute like IISER would give the state a national institute of importance and would immensely help in promoting science and maths education and research in our state. We have acquired about 200 acres of prime land at a very well-connected location in Sukhovi, Chumukedima district for setting up the IISER. My government is proud of the immense talent and achievements of our youth in the sporting arena. In every sporting event that we have participated in recent years, both at the national and international levels, our boys and girls have shown their mettle by regularly winning medals. The most notable recent achievements are winning 8 medals in the last national games at Goa and 80 medals in the second Northeast Olympics held at Shillong. My government, with an aim to further foster sporting culture among the people and make the state a leading sporting power in the country, have been making several critical interventions in this field. We are building and improving our sports infrastructure across the state. The Department of Youth Resource and Sports commissioned 5 prefabricated multidisciplinary sports stadiums last year, and construction of another 11 projects across the state are underway. There are several other major projects for stadiums and grounds which have been completed and being taken up throughout the state. Notable among them, the development of FIFA standard football stadium with the synthetic turf and floodlights at NAPTC Chumukedima, all of which will go a long way in providing the requisite infrastructure to our building sports persons, while also enabling us to host big sporting events and competitions in the state. We recently held the Khelo India University Games, Ashtalakshmi 2023, for wrestling, and another major sporting event, the Northeast Olympic Games, we are going to host next month. Later in the year, we also plan to host the Asian Belt and Traditional Wrestling Championship, which will become the biggest sports events to be held in Nagaland so far. Our state is also emerging as one of the music and arts capitals in the northeast region and in the country. Our artists are going global, drawing accolades for their talent and performance. The renowned Hornbill Music Festival has emerged as one of India's biggest music events. The 2023 edition witnessed the participation by 40 bands and 800 musicians coming from 5 countries. The Hornbill Music Festival had a social media impact of more than 10 million. Recently, we hosted the Asia Music Summit at Kohima, the first time in the country, and involved participants from more than 12 countries and 550 registered delegates, which further cemented the reputation of the state as a powerhouse of music and talent. Honorable members, while we are witnessing our soft power steadily making its presence felt outside the state, we have also been continuously taking steps to improve our critical infrastructure such as road connectivity, power, and other logistics ensure our state remain on the fast track of development and progress. The Department of PWD and PWD R&D and PWD-NH National Highways successfully carried out strengthening and upgrading of 1,021.63 kilometers of road in 2022-23. Under the various central and state schemes, the current financial year 2023-24, the department is taking up constructions and improvement of more than 1,032 kilometers of road across the state. The state government also remains committed to the construction of the Foothills Road, Trans-Nagaland Highway, passing through 7 districts, namely Perel, Dimapur, Newland, Okha, Mokchang, Langlang and Mon districts, having a length of about 364 kilometers, which will give a significant boost to the economic activities in a 3,000 square kilometer mineral-rich region of the state. The project will directly benefit about 11 lakh populace of the state. The DPR of phase 1 and 2 of this proposed road project, with an estimated cost of about Rs 9,000 crores, have been submitted to the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways for consideration and sanction. I am also happy that there is good progress in the ongoing broad gauge railway project from Dhanasri to Zubza. This project will go a long way in improving transportation and connectivity in the state. The state government is also actively pursuing with the central government for building an airport at Seithu near Kohima. The absence of air connectivity to the state capital is proving to be a big constraint in the efforts of the state to harness in various potentials. We have acquired more than 1,000 acres of land at Seithu, sufficient to make runway for Airbus 320 landing. We have sent proposal to the Ministry of Civil Aviation for building an airport capable of handling ATR 72 class of aircrafts initially, with sufficient provision for future expansion for handling of higher aircrafts. The air connectivity by helicopter service in the state is expected to see a significant boost with the entry of common hands and Government of India enterprise into the state of Nagaland. This company will provide helicopter service initially covering 5 locations, namely Dimapur, Kohima, Mokokchung, Chungsang, Sunhabota and Pave, besides providing the maiden interstate helicopter connectivity to Jorhat Airport. This will be in addition to the existing helicopter services in the state being operated with assistance from the Ministry of Home Affairs, Government of India. Honorable members, the past few years have seen good growth and development in the power sector infrastructure of our state. In the generation sector, we have proposed the lower tissue 42 MW HEP and Zunki 24 megawatt HEP, which already received clearance of various ministries concerned in the Government of India, and the projects are now posed to ADB for funding. The Tissue Valley 24 megawatt HEP has also been submitted to the central government for appraisal and clearance. In the transmission sector, under the World Bank funded Northeast Region Power System Improvement Scheme, almost all the major towns and load centers across the state have been covered by a robust 132 kilowatt line system. The sub-transmission and distribution sector, continuous upgradation and strengthening are taking place. And we are about to start implementing the revamped distribution system scheme, RDSS, to address the requirement of this sector. The revenue sector, we are planning to install smart prepaid meters on a large scale, which will plug the leakages and reduce the purchase collection gap to a large extent. Honorable members, in recent years, several initiatives have been taken for promoting entrepreneurship and making our state an attractive place for setting up industries. We have formulated the state export promotion strategy and also constituted state export facilitation committee as well as district export promotion committees. Loans are being provided to entrepreneurs under Chief Minister Microfinance Initiative covering all the 16 districts. From the Chief Minister Corpus Fund, financial assistance is being provided to many self-employed entrepreneurs. And the State Startup Policy Initiative, entrepreneurship development centers have been established in one school in each district and also in one college in Peren and Chunsang district to promote innovation and new enterprises by educating the young minds. The Government of Nagaland, in collaboration with the SIDBI, has embarked on a transformative journey by recently entering into 4 MOUs, Member of Understandings, aimed at catalyzing economic growth and fostering entrepreneurship. They include establishment of Swalamban Connect Kendras, startup seed funding, facilitation of MSME development, and creation of a dedicated SIDBI Cluster Development Fund. The Department of Industries and Commerce is also setting up modern aggregation centers at Langna, Tangtonya, and Pursero. It is also setting up an integrated water housing and distribution center at Meluri under special assistant to states for capital investment, which will improve the logistics sector in our state and catalyze employment generation. Under SASCI, The department is also establishing a Unity Mall, a district industry centers complex at 6th Mile, Sovima, which will serve as a launch pad for local artisans and entrepreneurs, giving the viable avenue to showcase and sell their products. I am happy to say that all these initiatives and efforts have been duly recognized by the center. And in the recently released logistic estate across different states, 2023, reports by the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Nagaland has been kept in the category of fast movers. The Department of Agriculture, through various centrally sponsored schemes and several other initiatives, continue to promote agricultural growth, which in the last 2 decades have witnessed a twofold increase in the production of food grains. We are positioning ourselves as a producer of organic agricultural products, and 40,558 hectares of land have been declared organic, while about 20 different crops have been organic certified. I am happy to share that during celebration of the International Year of Millet 2023 festival, 2 farmers producers companies, namely Tunsang Organic Producer Company Limited and Mon Organic Spices Producer Company Limited, have signed a memorandum of understanding with Bright Cooperative Bakery, Calcutta, for supplying of organic foxtail millets. Under PM Kisan, more than 2 lakh of our farmers have been benefited, with rupees 488 crores have been directly credited into their individual bank accounts. The Department of Social and Water Conservation and the Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana is undertaking up bench terracing, contour trenching, vermicomposting and water harvesting ponds to reduce soil erosion, arrest surface water runoff, and to conserve water. Under Jal Jeevan Mission, the PH department have been able to provide more than 3 lakh functional household tap connections in the state till date, covering 719 villages habitants out of 1,548 rural villages habitants. In horticulture sector, the department is taking steps for area expansions of various horticultural crops like kiwi, dragon fruit, pineapple, papaya, banana, vegetables and spices. And PMKSY, an area of 5,233 hectares to be covered with the micro irrigation systems such as drip irrigation and sprinkling to ensure availability of irrigation for horticultural crops. Under NEC, the Department of Horticulture has got approval for 3 projects, namely setting up of cold storages, integrated processing unit and pack house for pineapple, which are aimed at strengthening the post-harvest management. Another project is setting up of demonetization of unit for exotic crops such as hazelnut, kiwi, peach, nectarine, apricot and plum, which aims to promote exotic fruit crops in Nagaland through adoption of scientific technology. The animal husbandry and veterinary department is taking up skilling and capacity building for the entrepreneurs and farmers. Toward this, the department is constructing a new regional training center at Levi, Kohima, which is expected to be completed very soon. Further, to strengthen the veterinary health service in the state, the department has established 2 more veterinary hospitals at Shemiyu and Makulamba under NABARD, which are nearing completion. The fisheries sector in the state continues to witness a notable growth, both vertically and horizontally. During the current year, under Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana, the department successfully created 2 units of circular hatchery and 150 hectares under water bodies, benefiting 1,050 fisher farmers covering all the districts in the state. The department is making efforts to enhance aquaculture productivity from existing 2.5 tons to 3 tons per hectare. The sericulture sector in the state also secured employment for 17,350 persons through the rearing of silkworms. The Department of Rural Development is aiming to generate 177.4 lakh man days and providing employment to 4.07 lakh households involving 4.67 lakh individuals during the current financial year under Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Development Guarantee Scheme. The department is also implementing a community-led poverty reduction program in 1,260 villages under 74 RD blocks covering all the districts through Nagaland State Rural Livelihoods Mission under Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana National Rural Livelihood Mission. The program has benefited more than 1.24 lakh rural households through 14,487 self-help groups. These self-help groups have formed themselves into 1,143 village-level organizations and 85 cluster-level federations. My government continues on its mission to drive development and growth in the less developed region of our state. The Department of Underdeveloped Areas is actively taking up activities to fill up the developmental gaps in the backward regions of the state in the areas of infrastructural development, education, healthcare, livelihood and economic development, etc. through the Border Area Development Program and the Underdeveloped Areas Program. The construction of the Cognac Heritage Complex at Mon, a NEC funded project which is going to be an iconic platform to preserve and showcase the rich and colorful culture of the Cognac people, is nearing completion and is going to be inaugurated shortly. Honorable members, while we have been making rapid strides in every developmental sector, we are also aware of the significant regional imbalances in the levels of socio-economic development that have continued to prevail in our state on account of certain historical and geographical reasons. My government appreciate the initiatives being taken by the central government to redress the problems and grievances of the people of Eastern Nagaland. And my government remains committed to provide our fullest assistance in suitably addressing all these issues. At this juncture, the need of the hour is Naga unity. The Nagas can achieve the much needed unity by remembering the shared and intertwined history, by respecting and caring for each other, and consciously nurturing the Naga brotherhood. Honorable members, the inauguration of our state first medical college, the Nagaland Institute of Medical Sciences and Research, last year was a momentous event for the state. My government while taking further steps for its expansion and upgradation. He is also pursuing with the central government for its conversion into a central institute like RIMS or AIMS, which will help the Medical Institute and Kohima to grow with sustainability and in suitably addressing the resource constraints. We are also taking all necessary steps for early completion of the ongoing construction work for the medical college at Mon. We have seen a significant growth in our urban population as well as in the number of cities and towns. In the interest of the residents and for better all-round development of towns through grassroots level governance, the new Nagaland Municipal Act 2023 was passed a few months back. I am happy to note that the government is taking all the necessary measures for the early conduct of the urban local bodies elections. Meanwhile, my government is also continuing its efforts to improve our urban infrastructure. After the total 30,766 dwelling units approved by the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs under Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, Housing for All mission in Nagaland, 18,261 DUs have been completed, and the remaining are at various stages of construction. At the Smart City Mission, Kohima have been served iconic projects being taken up, which has elevated the whole urban landscape of Kohima to a new level. It may be mentioned that Kohima Smart City is the only city among the northeastern smart cities to be in the top 10 of all ministry interventions and challenges. I am also happy to share my government's initiatives for incubation of a new planned city to be named Naga City at Chate Valley, Chumukodima district, for which the state has submitted the proposal bid to the central government for funding under the 15th Finance Commission. Honorable members, I would like to also dwell on the matter regarding the announcement made by the Government of India for suspension of free movement regime along the Indo-Myanmar border across the state. This has evoked concern and anxiety among our people, especially those staying in the border areas. In view of the Naga history, the close tribal and family bonds shared by people across the borders, and also the traditional ownership of land in many cases, transcending international boundaries, we are seeking reconsideration of the decision by the central government and for the continuance of the FMR. My government has further requested the central government to make appropriate regulations for movement of people across the borders in consultation with the state government. We are also seeking to bring in the village council authorities concerned in the entire system of regulation of the FMR for its proper and smooth implementation. We remain hopeful of an early and favorable response to our plea. Our state is endowed with rich biodiversity and forest wealth, and the Department of Environment, Forest and Climate Change has taken another step towards enhancing our forest cover by bringing an area of more than 24,000 hectares under afforestation with above 50 lakh seedlings planted through the JICA assisted Nagaland Forest Management Project. Under the National Clean Air Program, vertical gardens are also being developed in the multi-level parking lots and pedestrians walkways in Kohima town. The department also recently celebrated a decade of conservation of migratory bird Amur falcon by releasing a book chronicling the whole efforts in making it people's movement. Honorable members, the state has been a peaceful atmosphere and good law and order situation for the past many years, for which the entire district administration, the police, the security agencies, and all the tribal bodies and organizations deserve our fullest appreciation. We continue to take steps for further improving the overall infrastructure of policing, upgrading the skill and capabilities of the police force in maintaining law and order and in controlling crime. The Impang Platoon Post 7th NAP Battalion at Bandari, Oka, was recently inaugurated, where construction of multi-storied barracks for accommodation of 300 constable trainees each at PTS NAPTC, Chumukadima, is being taken up. The Nagaland Police Outreach and Civic Action Committee Patrolling Initiative through Mobile Police Subsidiary Canteens was also launched on 22nd January 2024, which is aimed towards building a positive police-public partnership based on mutual trust and cooperation. The state police, along with all of the departments concerned, have also launched the war on drugs to make the state free of this scourge of drugs and narcotics. Honorable members, it is a matter of pride for all of us to witness the tremendous strides made by Nagaland, the tourism landscape, thereby becoming one of the most well-known and sought-after tourist destinations. The efforts and initiatives of the government and the people over the years have started bearing fruit. I am also happy to note the tremendously successful organization of the Hornbill Festival, which had a global connect with the participation from several countries and which also brought in a record number of tourists from across the country and abroad. While the Department of Tourism deserves appreciation for these achievements, it needs to sustain this momentum so as to deliver an even more grand and participative Silver Jubilee editions of the Hornbill Festival this year, thereby further reinforcing the reputation of the state as a must-see tourist destination. Honorable members, happy to see that there has been a consistent growth in our GST collection over the years, which shows the success of the various measures we have taken for improving our tax collection. It is also a testament to our growing economy. In this financial year, our overall GST target is rupees 1,397.94 crore. And as per the figure up till December 2023, we have already collected rupees 995.35 crore and are hopeful of achieving the target. However, given our requirements, we need to make even greater efforts. Given the size of our economy and the level of public spending, there is still a good scope for increasing our tax and non-tax revenue collections in the years ahead. I hope these issues will be suitably addressed and discussed during this budget session. Honorable members, I have attempted to give you a brief glimpse of the various initiatives and the endeavors of my government for furthering the welfare, progress and development of our people. While there are many achievements we can be proud of. Let us not rest on our laurels. Rather, let us use these achievements to motivate us to work even harder so as to reap the fruits of the development progress to everybody in every nook and corner of the state. I call upon the honorable members of this August House to keep the interest and the welfare of the people foremost in their minds while deliberating and taking action on any matter of public importance, both inside and outside the House. I wish this assembly session a grand success. Jai Hind!